been thinking about.
Hey guys, it's Izzy and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about things that make my life easier. Now, in no way am I saying that my life is like really difficult. I'm just saying that with using these things it makes tasks that would be hard easy. Yeah, let's just go through the list I guess, and I can explain each one as I talk about it. So the first one, I'm probably sure you can all guess, that is prosthetic legs. Now prosthetic legs literally make my life so much easier. I wear them literally like more than 12 hours each day. I wear them from the minute I get up until I go to bed, so I wear them quite a lot and they actually really help me. They help me to walk, they help me to move about, they help me to reach things and basically be as independent as possible. And obviously being independent to me is really important, so my prosthetics allow me to do that, which is obviously how they make my life easier. So they are literally the key one. I could not live without them, and yeah, my life is very simple now I have them, I guess. Not quite sure that's the right word to put it in, but you get the gist of it. Without having them, everything could be a lot harder and more like energy consuming. So yeah, gotta love a good pair of prosthetic legs. I literally, me personally, can't see how people don't use them because I love them so much. Okay, so the next one is a charger holder slash a wireless charger. So for my laptop, obviously you have to charge it with a lead, and I'll put in a picture. I have one of these attached to my wire, which basically just means it's less fiddly to like plug in, and it just will keep it like sat on the desk, so I can plug that in. And you can literally get them from anywhere. I got mine from Typo, and yeah, they're just super cute. They make your leads look really cute, but then they also are effective because you've then got a big thing which you can then hold to push it into your computer. So I find them really useful. I didn't really think I would when I got one of them. I just thought, oh, it's pretty to put on my wire, but actually it's really useful. And yeah, and with that as well, obviously I have an iPhone X, so I can have a like a, I don't know what it's called, like a wireless charger. So I just put my phone on a charging pad sort of thing. I don't really know, I got it from an Instagram event, so it has Instagram logo on it, so I look right, you know, cool. But yeah, that is also really useful because it's always just plugged in and on, and then as soon as I want to charge my phone, I can just pop my phone on the pad and it charges it. So that's also really useful for me and love having that. Next thing, okay, so Assistive Touch on Apple. Now I've always had Apple products, so I don't know if like Samsung or something do anything else. I don't want to try it. But the Assistive Touch on Apple I've had for ages, and it just means I can do things like screenshot, swap between pages and stuff really quickly. And yeah, I have a whole video about how technology and all stuff like that, how I use it. So if you want to see like in general technology, then that's obviously really useful to watch, but I always think that's a good one. Like, I like having Assistive Touch, and it's not like too bulky or different, so it's not making everything like really dramatically different, which is good. So the next one is elastic in clothing. Now again, if you've watched any of my clothing videos before, you will know I complain and complain and complain about clothes and the limited choices that I actually have. And people don't realise that when you can't really get things with buttons or zips or like clasps, it's really hard to shop for clothing, especially trousers. I need things that are stretchy, I need things to be elasticated so I can pull them on and off without having to fiddle it with any buttons, because obviously not really button opening devices. So yeah, that's another one. So if any clothing brand wants to work with me to come out with ranges that are really easy for people to wear, that can't necessarily do buttons, hit me up, because I'd wear it for every minute of my life, because otherwise clothes are annoying. I have whole videos on clothes, so you can go check them out as well. Okay, so the next one is pretty like generic, but I find it really hard to like stand up and do things. So I don't know, say I want to get my phone out of my bag, it's so much easier for me to like have my bag on my lap and get it out than just be stood up and get it out. So I find having a table really useful for a lot of things. For instance, like eating, I'd way prefer to eat at a table rather than eat holding the food and like standing up. So if ever there's a table or something, I'm like, thank you, because without having a table, everything's just a little bit trickier and I have to be super careful. Okay, so the next one is cars, and in with cars it also will be blue badges. Now, I know this is a bit of a controversial topic, but my parents have cars, that's not the controversial bit. So it's always really useful for me to be able to get car places, because even public transport, I have to walk quite far from my house to get the bus, and I'm not great at walking too far. So it's really nice to be able to just have a car to get from A to B. I'm super excited to be able to get my own car soon and be able to practice learning to drive on the roads. So hopefully then I'll be able to drive as well, which will obviously make my life even more easier because I'll be completely independent. Because if I want a car now, I have to get my mum or my dad to drive me because I don't have my driver's license yet. But when I have my own car, I can obviously go wherever I want. With a car comes a blue badge. Now, I do have a blue badge. I know some people get a bit arsey when I say I have a blue badge, but I'm not being funny. I have no legs. So I have a blue badge, and obviously this is just really helpful for me because it means that I don't have to walk too far to get into the shops. And you're probably thinking, why people arsey? I don't really know. Everyone feels the need to find something to be mardy about in the world, and loads of people find it. Who even knows? Anyway, so my blue badge. Now, funny story about my blue badge. So obviously I've had one since I was 7, and you have to renew it like every 5 years. Anyway, so we go in to renew it, and I get an email back going, you can't renew it because you don't have long enough on like a certain document. But you have to reapply for this other document because it changes onto a different scheme once you get 16, and I'm now 16. But the waiting list for the change is apparently 13 weeks, and I'm already waiting like week 5 or something when I get this email. So I'm trying to change documents so that I can get this, and then I can get my blue badge, but it doesn't work. So apparently I'm not allowed a blue badge until I get this document, which is really fun. I do get tired walking, and if I'm going to go, I don't know, around Sainsbury's, I'd rather walk around Sainsbury's than walk from the car to Sainsbury's, and then by the time I get in Sainsbury's, be tired. Secondly, like car parks, especially outside car parks, are always wet, and if the floor's like wet or slippy, I'd prefer not to walk on it as far, and it's just generally more convenient for me to be able to get out of the car and be at the shop rather than have to get out of. So obviously disabled spaces are bigger, and if you have a disabled space, it means I have a lot more space to get out of the car. So that's like the third reason why it's really useful for me to have a blue badge. Okay, so the next one is just the people around me. Now obviously, as much as I try and be 100% independent, there are certain things that I struggle with. Luckily I have a great lot of people around me, like my friends, my mum, my dad, occasionally my brothers, that will be able to help me do things. So I know a lot of this list is like actual things, but my parents and all of the people around me are also really useful to be able to help me, whether it's to help me be independent or to just help me in general. They make my life easier because I don't have to do some of the stuff myself, or some of the stuff that I can't do myself, they'll do it for me. So great. It is a long-handled shower puff. Now we all know what a shower puff looks like, but I have one with like a long handle. It's probably about that big, wooden like handle, and this allows me to completely wash myself without like dropping it because I have a stick to hold on to. So it's really great. It lets me, you know, get everywhere, wash everywhere, so that I can do it myself because I'm 16. I want to try and be independent in the shower, and I am. So yeah, it helps me to be independent, and it's really useful actually. So yeah, that's one that's really useful, and you can actually buy them from like mainstream shops. So like I get mine from Boots. Bargain. It's actually really expensive for a shower puff, but with a lot of things that are adapted or different, quite a lot of the time you do have to pay more money for them, which sucks. But at least I get things to help me. I'd rather spend more money and be able to be independent than spend less and have to get like my mum to help me like shower or whatever. Last one I have on my list is my wheelchair. Now I never mention my wheelchair on the internet, or very hardly ever, because I like to be like, oh, I'm completely independent, I can do everything myself. But I also want to be like truthful with you guys, and I want to let you guys know that I don't always I can't speak today. I don't walk 100% of the time. So day to day I basically do, and I wouldn't ever go in my wheelchair to school or anything. So day to day I walk around. However, if we're going like, I don't know, on holiday where we're going to do more walking, sightsee, I'd take my wheelchair. If we're going on a long day out where there's going to be loads of walking, I'd take my wheelchair. So I kind of am selective where I use it, because I don't really like using it, because I don't know, I feel like it makes me feel disabled, which is not the kind of vibe I'm trying to go for. So I try not to use it. However, I do think it's important for me to be like, sometimes I do, but yeah, not very often, because I despise it. If you did enjoy this one, then let me know. Leave a like and a comment and a subscribe and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.